And away we go. Episode, 439, No Laugh Track Podcast. I am Justin Severson. That's my name, still my name. The host here at Acme Comedy Company, Minneapolis, Minnesota. I am with Tommy Ryman, who, Tommy, I look back, say something.
Hello.
Yay! We haven't done this since 2017.
Has it been that long?
Yes.
What happened?
Did we do one and it got destroyed or something?
Maybe.
I
feel
been
like
that long.
Yeah, I feel like there'd be a 2019 one somewhere in there, 2018.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. I don't know. The app is letting me down because I don't see anything that exists between now and 2017. But that just means more reason that this is so special.
Yeah,
people should be listening. And that was also Thanksgiving week.
Yeah, I'm back
that
Thanksgiving again. So
lucky you.
Yeah, maybe there was one in between where I was using a different stage name or something that I switched to. But
that's right. You yeah,
like Johnny Thunders.
When you were doing that musical act.
Yeah, because I did the guitar thing for a while, and then I was kind of trying, just branching out, and then Lewis was like, let's keep with what you had originally.
So I'm going to hop in right there and say that I listened to the most recent episode of the podcast you do now, which we're going to get into. I also listened to you on Middle of Somewhere with Cy and Chad Daniels. And I don't know which show this came from, but you said, it was the one with Chad and Cy. And you said that you had you were telling a story about going to some musical. Wicked, possibly? Was that right?
When Megan and we went to London,
right before
Wicked. 2019 we saw Wicked.
And you said something about, we went because both of us have a musical theater background.
Yeah, well, we're both theater majors.
So
from the University of Minnesota.
Majors.
I did more musical theater than Megan, probably, but I've walked away from all of that since. But so don't think when you come to the show that I'm going to bust into any songs because it's far out of my life now.
But at one point, there was singing in Tommy Ryman's career, future, present.
Joseph. I was Charlie Brown and Goodman Charlie Brown.
At what age?
That would have been senior year of high school.
Okay.
So Charlie Brown was community. In my senior year of high school, I was Seymour Krellborn in Little Shop of Horrors. That's kind of when I peaked.
Obviously.
And then
when you peaked.
Yeah. I did a bunch of other. Oliver I was in when I was little.
Oh.
I was not Oliver. I was like an orphan. Just like
Artful
orphan.
Dodger?
No, not
Fagin?
even. I was like orphan number 12. I don't think I had line. I was 6th grade. So I did my best. I was not a good. I don't know how I became a theater major because like the other role I had that my first time doing plays, they did Alice in Wonderland, and my sister and I were actually going to the same school, so she was one of the 7 Alices because they divided it up so more kids would have opportunities. So there's literally there was literally 7
I'm not a fan
Alices.
of that at all.
What, giving everybody a chance?
Yes. Anyway,
and then I was a pawn because there's like a chess piece. So that was my acting debut was pawn on it. No lines, just a red pawn. So I think I wore sweatpants and knocked it out of the park.
Heck yeah. I was a pawn, no lines.
No lines.
No lines.
That's what the most like acting coaches were like, hey, if you could just sit there, not talk, like that's when you shine, Tommy.
That's right. So then at some point you bailed on that. You bailed on this musical theater career and became a comedian. Yeah,
I got into stand-up right as I was graduating the U. Because the reason I did stand-up, I might have talked about this before, but I did...
I'm not remembering it, so quickly.
I was taking this career prep class at the University of Minnesota where you had to memorize a monologue each time, and then one time I was listening to Mitch Hedberg a ton, like he was the first comic I super got into, had all this stuff memorized, and I asked her if I could do a stand-up set instead of a monologue. She said yes, and that went pretty well, and then the next week did my first mic here. I think January 3rd, 2005 was the first time I ever set foot on stage at Acme.
And how many Mitch Hedberg jokes did you do that night?
I didn't do any Mitch Hedberg jokes. I did jokes in the voice of Mitch Hedberg that I wrote.
Yo, were they really?
Well, that's how I learned the cadence. So, like, one of my first jokes was like, I don't care when I think it's funny when adults get braces because it's kind of like they don't care what anybody thinks, but they kind of do because you get it?
Yeah.
So, and then I basically said it in the style of Mitch, and then a local comic after I've been going up for a while, he goes, "Hey man, we already got one of him. You're gonna have to find your own voice." Like,
no.
Yeah. He's like, he's doing pretty well, so you might not want to. But
that wasn't Mitch Hedberg, was it? We already got one of me.
No. But yeah, I got to see him live right before I did stand up, and then sadly, no longer with us.
Yeah, a legend, an absolute legend, all over, including Minnesota, obviously.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things, though, of going on the road and doing it so long, like, is meeting people that have amazing Mitch stories. Like Kermit Apio has fun stuff. I'm sure people may have talked about it, and I know Chad Daniels opened for him for a while, so I'm very jealous, but it's fun to, like, hear all these stories later.
Oh, but how about the Tommy Ryman stories when people show up back here with all the Tommy Ryman stories?
Right? Like, I worked with Tommy. He ripped his cardigan off. It got crazy. And he said he wasn't going to do musical theater, but he did. He did 2 hours of musical theater and did not do his act at all. It was those are the stories. The wild.
Oh, we got hours of that stuff. We just haven't released it yet.
Yeah, no, it'll come.
We're sitting on it.
Yeah, the Acme True Hollywood documentary of the career of Tommy Ryman.
Absolutely. So, not only, I mean, it's not just a normal week here for you at Acme. You're also doing some recording, correct?
I am. I'm recording my 3rd album with a new label, Ghost Runner Records, which I'm excited to do.
Oh, I've never heard of them.
Yeah, they're a new label. They've got they're started by comedians Tony Deo and Andy Hendrickson. And Andy Hendrickson was here at Crash and Burn.
Yeah, I'm like, ago. I know who that is.
Yeah, and so they've got. I think they have Joe Zimmerman on it. I think Mary Mack might be doing one. So they're. It's a fresh start. I'm the ground floor of this record label.
Okay.
We'll see what happens.
Nice. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, but I'm excited to have another album.
Did you record the other 2 here?
Yeah, I've done all my albums here. So it's the I just bag Lewis. I'm like, come on, man, I'm doing another. He's like,
I'll take Thanksgiving, anything, anything. So it is Thanksgiving week, and some people liked when COVID was peaking around this time, and in the past, where we're staying home. Sorry, holidays canceled.
Right.
How are you in that? Are you like, I love holidays, getting together with people? I know we talked briefly. You said that looks like you're doing a little hosting tomorrow.
Yeah, we're hosting.
How much do you look forward to
that? It's anxiety, but I'm excited because we used to host when we lived here and then didn't host, and now we're back. And then last year we didn't do Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Or we did it at our house, but no, not with everybody here. So we got 9 people. People are vaxxed. I got tested the other day, negative test. So a lot of more protocols you go through, I guess, to go hang out with your father-in-law. But it should be worth it, I guess. So
that's not how you were introduced the first time you met him?
No,
by your this girlfriend of the this is Tommy. We've been dating. He's been tested, fixed.
Yeah. And we got COVID tests just to verify, just to say what we got tested for this week.
Oh, okay.
We weren't.
Just to confirm.
Yeah, we just throw normal Thanksgivings. There's nothing weird. Nobody's. It's just STDs, pregnancy tests, all the different drug tests. Get them all done.
That's right. You show them all at the door. Yeah. This year, Grandma's checking the STD tests.
Yeah.
Positive or negative. I was in a neighborhood yesterday that was doing the rapid tests. Probably maybe somewhere where you went, where they do it. Did you just roll the window down and they stuck the thing in your nose?
No, I went to the airport one, and you park, you walk in, and then we spit in the tube. I've never done the nose one, because I've been tested multiple times, and we always do the spit one. And I usually am with Megan, so we always. We have a contest who can fill it faster. I win all the time. I am such a better spitter than my wife.
So grossed out.
Dude, the trick is you just think of food and you'll start, and she still hasn't learned that.
Have you told her your trick?
Yeah, well, I don't know, because I want to win. So
that's what I mean.
This she could catch on now the next time. But yeah, you just think of good food and then you get in there.
The one I drove past yesterday was incredibly busy, and I thought, why is it? Oh. Everybody's going to visit their aunts and uncles and grandmas tomorrow or this week, and they're going to wait and they're getting tested beforehand.
Taking
very responsible of everyone. It's good to see.
Yeah,
absolutely. That reminded me of a question that I asked somebody a few months ago on the podcast. It was based on I was looking at like part-time jobs that were available locally. This was back in October, and they both paid the same amount. It was about $15 an hour.
Okay.
One job was to work at those, like the Halloween haunted hayride as a zombie.
Yes.
Where people on the hayride shoot paintballs at you.
What?
So for $15 an hour, you are a zombie all night. Or $15 an hour to collect spit from people at the COVID tests. Both of those jobs are being offered in October for about the same salary.
Wow.
Which one would you choose?
I don't know. I mean, I like that zombie paintball thing, but I'm just getting shot at. I don't get to do any paintball.
You're running, hiding.
Yeah.
You're not shooting back. Zombies don't have guns, Tommy.
There's no way I could dress up as a zombie at the spit collecting place either.
They don't pay extra, but you could, I suppose.
So I'm allowed to be yeah. I mean, I think I'm gonna go with the haunted hayride, unless I was allowed to dress up and make the testing more fun.
Okay.
And then I would like to give the results right there, and then usually like the what's the show where like you are not the father.
Oh, like Maury Povich?
I would like to make more production because they just send you an email and I go, we can do better. Let's add some pizzazz. I want people devastated when they find out they can't go back to their family for Thanksgiving.
You are not going to grandma's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right?
You are positive. And they're just swept away. Like, what happens to? I thought we just quarantined. Like, no, they're gone now. Yeah.
I love that so much. I have another question to get into. What would Tommy do? On my drive over here, I drove past someone on the highway. Which means they were driving very slow if I went past them, by the way. I glance over, finger way up this guy's nose.
Oh.
When that happens to you, do you look away right away because you're like horrified and embarrassed for them? Or do you keep looking to see where this is going to go?
I have the finger up there, and I just look directly at. Or no, this is from me. This is from me seeing somebody. Oh, I see it. Yeah. No, I would stare. I stare at weird things. If people are doing weird things in the car, I'd be like, "What do you got? What are you doing up there? You getting treasure? Nice." Wasn't that a Seinfeld episode where they saw the picker? I think it. I feel like Seinfeld covers everything. Yeah,
oh my goodness! I didn't see that, but I probably did years ago.
Yeah,
that's probably where I got that from.
Because he was scratching his nose.
Oh, it wasn't a scratch; it was an itch. I saw that.
It was an itch. Like,
I saw
not
that
a pit.
one.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
So
I didn't get a chance to go. Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, false alarm! False alarm! False alarm. So I know from our brief conversation and following you on social media, etc., that you recently. Probably around the time that I was reading that question about the $15 an hour jobs the first time, is that you were recording your second dry bar.
I did. About a month ago or so, I flew out and did another special with Dry Bar. So yeah, it's kind of fun. I got the Dry Bar special and then the album, because Dry Bar specials now are only 20 minutes. So it's
Your
shorter.
Your first one was how long?
40 minutes.
It was, yeah.
Like full special. So this one they're doing shorter ones. So it'll be kind of fun to have that. But I don't even know the release date. It's going to be sometime spring. They told me they have so many now that they're churning out. So it was some fun stuff, and then hopefully that'll if I get more fans from that, I can bring them back to the new album that came out. And with the amount of time I'm technically ready, I could do another dry bar if I want to for time wise, because the album will be 50 minutes and only half of it will be on the special.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be really confusing for my fans when they're like, what's on what? And then I just watch it all. Just give as much money as possible.
That's right.
Just download all my content and join my Patreon, whatever you do.
There you go.
So, smash that like button, the deal. Like, so much of that. It's crazy.
Oh, content, bro. You got to have content, bro.
So much content. I'm on the TikToks. I'm on the, I'll do it all. Do it all, Justin.
When we talked, we went to a ball game earlier this year.
Yeah.
You, me,
Michael Palasak,
Tom, your friend Tom,
yep.
was there as well.
Tom, yeah.
The other Tom.
I just saw Palasak. He picked me up. He was randomly in town this last weekend. He goes, hey, man, you want to open for me at this college? So I was like, sure. So we just drove 3.5 hours up past like Superior, Wisconsin, and did Northland College. It was a blast.
Oh, awesome.
Had dinner, and then he had to fly out the next day, so we drove back that night. But it was like a surprise Palisac.
Oh, that's awesome.
We should have come grabbed you.
Come on, I'm still on I'm still on the text chain. Let's go.
I don't know what happened.
Something when he was here last time, I found out that when he was younger, his parents would not let him watch The Simpsons.
I could see that because he did have a more conservative background. I'm similar though because I didn't have a TV growing up, so I didn't. When the Simpsons were first out, I didn't have a TV until my parents divorced, and my mom got a TV. So then I didn't see The Simpsons until I was like 12 or 13, where it had been out since I was like 8 or something.
So back then, like the huge thing was, like when I was in elementary school, you would go back, on, Monday, let's say, and then you talk about the things you probably watched on TV, or the night after whatever show was on Tuesday, you'd go back once. Did you see blah, blah, blah?
Yeah. What? I just would stare at a wall and
be
confused, or I'd try to lie, be like, "Oh yeah, that Bort Simpson, that sounds great." Like Bort, what is this guy's lying? He didn't see it. He didn't see the episode. No, but I would go over to friends' house sometimes, and so I got to see TV, but it was never at our house.
When your parents split, who did you think was going to get were you like, all right, finally, mom or dad is going to get the TV that I was hoping for?
Yeah. Well, it was weird. Like, I was excited, and we got cable, too. But there was a TV downstairs, and then she put a TV for up on my sister, because she wanted to watch all her shows. That she put, like, the tiniest TV up in this tiny, basically a closet that was like, that's you and Annie battle it out. What are you going to watch on that? But, yeah, I was excited, and probably... when you take things away from kids and then they get it, I feel like we should have had TV the whole time because I went hard. Like I was like, I'm gonna watch all the TV.
I bet you did
all the time. And my sister and I, we would get in huge fights.
I was gonna say, how did you? How did that work out?
She usually won.
You were watching My Little Ponies more than you wanted, or?
Well, I wanted to watch. I was little, or more cartoons still. I think because I must have been. They were divorced at. I feel like I started 8 or 9, maybe. I might getting the time off, but she always wanted to watch like 15 or like teen girl shows, and I wanted to watch more cartoons. And then one time we were in an intense fight, and she threw a remote at my head, and it just smashed against the wall, and I was like, whoa. So we got in some good fights.
That could have ruined things for both of you.
If it hit my face.
Next thing you know, mom's taking the remote away. Like, fine, you guys can't handle it. Now we won't have one.
Well, yeah, and then we're sitting at the TV just trying to channel surf through each button. Plus, it did smash against the wall, but I think we just put the batteries back in.
For the record, that was my job at my house. My parents were like, all right, we'll get cable, but we're not paying the $3 for a remote or $6 or something. Oh. And I'm not kidding. We had it on one television in the living room and no remote. So I would have to I basically laid down on the floor next to the TV kind of, and then would reach up and hit the buttons plus minus. I memorized all of them.
You could get it pretty good. But then you're, unless you're going in between shows, at least you do it and then you could sit and enjoy it.
Yes.
So because then there's kids that I've heard that if they didn't have cable, they were the rabbit ears. So they're like, all right, you go hold that tinfoil and hold the antenna, and they just stay there because that's how we're gonna get the best.
There was an advantage to being in that spot by the television. That's where the heat vent was.
See you?
So it was sort of like your own little kind of cocoon up right there and be nice and warm.
Nice.
It wasn't so bad. Watching some Bugs Bunny, it wasn't too bad. So another thing that you and I have talked about in the past is that you once had a job at Barnes & Noble, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. So I brought a book in today that we already talked about it just briefly before we started recording it, but I want to ask you about something that really has nothing to do with the topic of this book whatsoever. For the record, I have the book Judy Carter's stand-up comedy, The Book. How to tell if you're funny, take the funny test.
Okay.
Ooh, and a lot of other stuff. But when I first got this today, as a matter of fact, it arrived from Amazon. I was looking to see what year it was printed. I saw 1989, and right above that, I was like, what is this? I want to know if you've heard this before. If you purchase this book without a cover, you should be aware that this book is stolen property. It was reported as unsold and destroyed to the publisher, and neither the author nor the publisher has received any payment for this stripped book.
Yep.
Have you ever heard of a stripped book?
I do. I know that is a book lingo, and usually it's a mass market thing that you do. So that looks like a trade paperback book. So I'm surprised that that's a strip book.
I don't know why. Are you putting it down by saying that? What does that mean?
No, there's like hardcover, trade paper, and mass markets are like kind of like your romance novels or those the books you see like at the line at the grocery store, like those just the small paperback.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so if they don't sell, instead of sending the whole book back, it was more cost effective. You'd rip the cover off, and then you send the covers to the publisher, and then they would credit the bookstore. So technically, and then you had to destroy. You'd put all the ripped up covers, or they would give them away to the staff.
I never would have guessed. That's
a little.
That's really interesting.
It's a lingo. So if they still do it, you could, if you go dig through a dumpster, you might be able to find a bunch of coverless books, but clearly don't sell the stand-up comedy book.
Don't you dare try to resell it.
It's years of prison. I would assume it is some type of crime.
It's very similar to that mattress tag thing. Yeah, right.
Yeah, on that level.
Wow, who knew? So did you ever have that job when you worked at? Were they still doing that when you worked at Barnes & Noble, ripping covers off, and you had a just mass collection of?
Yeah, I would
books that you guys tossed, or I assume recycled somehow. But.
Yeah, I think they went into the paper recycling.
No kidding.
Or something. But yeah, I was assigned that. Usually the receiver would do that. So sometimes I would go back in receiving, and then there was not much I didn't do at Barnes & Noble because I worked there forever. But I didn't work in the cafes. I worked in the music department. I worked in the receiving. I worked cashier. But they did not let me make hot drinks. They're like, this is too dangerous. He's got bad eyes. Don't let Tommy run food.
Keep him away from all heating elements.
Right.
Yes. So let's go now. We should talk about the podcast that you're doing now.
Yes, I've got one.
You got one.
I got a podcast.
Congrats.
It's called A Little Tom Foolery. I do it with another comedian, Rob Little, that I've known for years. He was kind of one of the first comedians to bring me on the road. So I featured for him. He got married, my wife and I. He got ordained and officiated the wedding. So he's a good buddy.
Comedians only get married by other comedians.
Yeah, but we started a pandemic podcast. We jumped on the train because we learned about Zoom because he lives in Florida. We're like, oh, we can do this we don't have to be in the same room. And it's been a lot of fun. But again, I appreciate, I'm so much more impressed with you because you got to do prep.
Yeah.
You got to think about things, that it's not you're not just chatting, having a good time. And we have themes and stuff and segments. So, but yeah, we're on episode 31 or 32, and it's been fun.
And you're doing you have video along with that?
Yeah, it's up on YouTube. It's hard to get people to subscribe to the YouTube page because most people are listening on Apple Podcast, but because you need to hit a certain number of subscribers to monetize. And so, I mean, if anyone's listening, if you're not subscribed to the No Laugh Track, go to Little Tom Foolery, subscribe to all of us.
Yes, please.
Because I have Legos to buy. There's things I need to spend.
Yeah, I mean, when you get around the family, around the holidays, whether it's Thanksgiving, Christmas, and any New Year's, whatever you're going to get together with people, and inevitably the conversation comes up about your favorite comedy podcast.
Yeah.
Just don't forget to mention these two.
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's all we need.
Yeah, I think that's simple enough. So, let's see. What did I hear on the most recent? I listened to the most recent one of A Little Tom Foolery. What did I hear about that? I heard about you guys were talking about your plans for some shows coming up. You just mentioned Legos, and I did it
Lego. Yeah.
Plural,
you remember
singular,
from
and plural.
One of the other podcasts where
I did a little news search of Lego. I'm like, what's the hot topic going on right now? And what I need to know, because I saw, and I think I heard on a show that you went, and I know that you waited in line to get was it Harry Potter something?
The newest one I got was the Lego Home Alone house.
Oh, Home Alone, pardon me.
Yeah.
And that thing looks incredible.
Yeah, it's big. It's going to be a Christmas decoration for our house, and I'm excited. And I talked about it on Cy and Chad's podcast about the time I waited in line for a Lego Millennium Falcon.
Yes.
So this is similar. As by similar, I mean in line was just a bunch of men in their 30s again at the Mall of America. But
So on my new search, I saw. Do you have money set aside for the new one that's coming out? The AT-AT.
The AT-AT, the huge one, I have not.
We're calling it AT-AT?
Is it AT-AT? Or yeah. Sorry, I'm not.
Whoa. Brandon, what do you know about Star Wars? Is it AT-AT or AT-AT? I go AT-AT.
Yeah, sorry. I just said the words wrong. Can we edit this out? I just don't.
But of course,
lose.
there's an AT-ST.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't be like, oh, did you get the AT-ST?
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, the AT-AT.
Can we edit this out?
Yeah, just I don't know what happened. I must have had a small stroke or something. It's a lot of stress. And I said Legos plural. Like I've offended so many nerds right now. But I moved on. I gained weight during the pandemic. You know what? I'm cool now, so I can say Star Wars names wrong. Darth Vader. I don't care. I don't care about you losers.
Star Trek.
Yeah, Star what? Who cares? I don't care about space.
So anyway, the AT-AT, the AT-AT.
Yeah, the AT.
I saw that's another one that is very expensive.
Yeah, it's like $800.
$800 for a new Lego playset.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna pass on that one.
Why?
Just space-wise, and there's the Titanic is what I would rather get. They released the Lego Titanic, which looks super rad. But also Megan and I are talking about kids, so maybe I have to sell all the Lego and worry about raising a child, I guess, if that happens. But
so I literally wrote that down as one of my things here. It says, "Would you let a child into your Lego room?" Have you or would you?
Well, I wouldn't a little one because they're small, like just for safety reasons. Like,
the choking hazard.
Yeah. So, but certain sets I would love. Like, I'm excited if we have kids to like play Lego with them because like when they're at the right age. But I had a buddy of mine came over to my house once with his two. I think they were like 3-year-old and like a 6-year-old, and I had like little Ninja Turtle Legos.
This is prime messing with things age.
Yeah, and so they just saw a room full of toys, and then Jamie was like, "Oh, you don't," and they were confused because they're like, "No, every room full of toys," and then he goes like, "Well, this is a old man, so you're not supposed to." And so I go, "Oh no, they can play." Like I was like, they grabbed the Ninja Turtle thing, and then like maybe within 8 minutes, it was just like just destroyed.
Yes.
And my buddy Jamie was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And I was like, "It's I was like, that's part of the fun is you build it, and I'm also old, so I shouldn't. If I got upset at this, that's weird. That's something wrong with me. If I just raged at your kids, like, what? Why did you rip apart my Ninja Turtle van?
Now I'm gonna get out the manual, and you have to put it back together before you leave.
Just kick us. Get them out of my house. I don't care. We haven't had dinner yet. This is unacceptable. You need to teach your kids that they can't take apart Legos and use their imaginations. It's disgusting.
I don't want to go to Tommy's house. Toys are for looking, not touching.
Yeah. They're all behind those cases.
Oh. Do you I mean Black Friday's coming up. If you keeping an eye on a Black Friday deal for Lego?
No.
Is that a thing?
I think I looked on like online. They have some promos and stuff, but nothing. I'm probably not going to do that.
So like comedian Matthew Broussard, one of his hobbies is he's into making stuff with clay.
Okay.
So much so that he has managed to get he gets free
clay.
Sculpey, I think is the brand, or I don't know.
Don't you just go to like a riverbed? Isn't it all there? I thought it was, you just find clay. You got to buy clay. I'm glad he's getting free clay.
You can't get every color just by digging.
Oh, got it.
You seem like not only do they have a TV show that now has done 2 seasons called Lego Masters.
Yeah.
That brings in, I mean, of course, it has Will Arnett as the host that has done every commercial and TV show. But the contestants are real Lego nerds.
Yeah.
And I say that with love, right? You are a talented, funny comedian who loves Lego. Are you not tailor-made to be on the show? I think all you need is a partner, because everyone on that show, you don't go alone, you have a partner. Have you chosen a partner, and why aren't you on that show yet?
See, that's smart. The reason I'm not on that show is because get the instructions, build it. If you just hand me a bunch of Legos and go, hey, design something amazing, I will build you a basic house, and I have no engineering skills like them, because they can just sew out of the box. So if you give me instructions, I'll go to town, but for me, it'll look like garbage. Like they'll be like, "Oh, cool, this 5-year-old made Lego." Like I would be the first off. Like so, basically, if I was on it, I would have to find like a really Lego engineer person and then just be like, I'm gonna say funny goofy stuff and you tell me what to do and then we'll probably get voted out pretty fast but
well, I don't know. I mean, I watched all of season 1 and parts of season 2. You could be that's a role you could have where the one is but you're the ones rushing back to get we need 50 hexagonal purple blocks immediately.
See, Megan might be a good partner because when I build Lego, I'll have it at the table, and then she'll just start grabbing it and start putting it together. And that's hard for me because I'm like, I might need that. And then she's like, well, I'm bored. And I was like, well, you can't. So she might be better at actually coming up with the creative stuff. But I wish I was. I like watch YouTube shows, so I see people that create these amazing mocks. People make like castles and Lord of the Rings stuff. Like, it's incredible what they can build. And that show, the Lego Master show, is super funny. And I would love to host it. I would love Will Arnett's job. Actually.
Yeah, wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah. But I think he's good. I don't think they're gonna let him go anytime soon. But if you know anything, let him be like.
I'll announce it. I'll announce it right here.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. Absolutely no doubt about it. Did you see that? Are you a big Pee-wee Herman? Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Movie?
Yeah, I did like the movies. What is there news on Pee-wee?
The guy that played Amazing Larry just died this week. Do you remember the role Amazing Larry?
I think so.
He's the magician.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's sad.
And then they bring in, and then there's the scene where they have everybody and they're asking about, they're trying to figure out where his bike is. And then there's the famous line, "Is this something you'd like to share with us, Amazing Larry?"
Oh, yeah.
I just read on Paul Rubin's Pee-wee Herman's Instagram that line was going to be left out. Because Tim Burton or whoever thought it didn't fit, it didn't make sense, like it was out of context. And he was like, "That's why it works, because it doesn't make sense."
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's one of my favorite lines from that movie.
I like that.
Rest in peace, Amazing Larry.
Yeah.
And he never shared it with us.
No.
As it turns out.
Wow.
He never shared it with us. So for the shows this week at Acme, after the shows. Are you going out for pictures? Are you selling? Do you have merch? Do you have the old CDs? Do you have a Tommy Ryman poster? Are there posters? You've had posters in the past.
I do. We have like podcast posters, and I have a card now of like all my info. That's usually what I give out because so many people just download and stream albums and stuff.
Sure.
So I don't know what I'll be, and I won't really pitch it. Because I'm going to just be recording the hour, so I don't want to interrupt it and be like, here's my merch sale. That's so they got to edit out. But I'll probably be out there saying hello. I'm boosted. Just and I tested negative for all the diseases.
You got the booster already?
Yeah. I got it about a week ago. So.
Well, okay. Were there any side effects?
No, I got a sore arm, but I did drink heavily the night I got it. Because I misread the doctor because I think they were like, yeah, drink juice and water, and I was like, so party tonight, and we're good. So in the morning I was like, ooh, but I really wanted to weaken that immune system so it really gets extra strong.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was kind of that Facebook medical science where I was just kind of using my gut to be like, this is probably the best thing to do. When you're going to get a booster vaccine is to have 3 beers. I like how I'm like, yeah, I got wild and it was 3 beers. But other people are going to be like, ooh. 3 beers over like 6 hours. Nice dinner.
It was a huge meal.
Yeah. Not going to lie. Woke up the next day, had to take 2 Advil, and I was perfectly fine.
12 hours of sleep?
Yeah.
Didn't feel a thing. Sore arm. That's so fantastic. Let me see. Let me go through my so we do Dry Bar. We got the album they're recording this week. Anything else we should be mentioning? The podcast.
Yeah, Little Tom Foolery. And if you have any questions, you can always visit my website at tommyryman.com. That has my shows.
And I was gonna say that actually, I never finished the thought. So when we were at that baseball game with Palisac and everybody, I think you and I were talking about that you had a clip or some clips that were like people were doing on TikTok and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, people have lip-synced a bunch of my bits on TikTok. So one of them has like 6,000 different people did my getting pulled over story, which was crazy to see. So there's people dressed as like it's just weird. It's all different types of people so that was cool. And then I have TikToks that are not, because I tried to lip sync it myself because I wrote the jokes. I was like, well, this is going to be amazing. And I couldn't do it. I was like, I can't. The time was all it was the saddest thing.
Did you post it?
I know. I was like, I don't want to do this. Why would I lip sync? I wrote it. So it's more cool when So I post, sometimes I'll post if somebody did it. Like I have a joke about dogs that somebody did, like all their dogs and it's funny to see what people do.
Oh, yeah. It's got to be so flattering, really.
So, and then hopefully the new album. Somebody's telling me, they're like, yeah, when your new album comes out, you got to reach out to TikTok influencers and like give them like a track early to see if they'll lip sync it, like to get hype about it. I was
That's
like,
a thing now?
I was like, another person I got to pay is a weird, some cosplayer to talk about, tell my Roomba joke.
We're the island boy. We tell Tommy Ryman joke. That's who you're going to be, the island boys.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So, but yeah, everybody has their idea of what you're supposed to do when things come out. So that was one of the tips that I've heard.
Absolutely.
So,
let's do this again sooner than 4 years.
Yeah, and try to find the missing one. I feel like, but that could be. So yeah, I definitely want to be back. Acme sooner than do it.
Look into the Lewis camera.
Yeah, Lewis, book me. Let's do this again next month.
Yes.
I want to be the monthly head.
Next month? You're shooting on that?
Yeah, I know. I pushed it. I pushed it too much. Oh, man. I apologize.
2022.
Okay. Yeah, let's go for that.
Thank you again, Tommy.
It's always a blast. Thanks for having me again.
Thank you.